is Amin Ra Cam Cam, and if you look at those links down below, you realize I've been teaching people to cultivate energy for a quarter of a century here now. My main focus is mental mastership, and the aspect of mental mastership that we deal with is self-healing and rediscovery of the divinity. But before we get started, what we like to do is empower ourselves spiritually, and one of the ways, ancestrally speaking, that we have always empowered ourselves is learning to pour libations. When you libate, you pour water, juice, liquor, beer, whatever you choose, to pay respects to the great mother, the great father, the ancestors. So we're going to start out, we pay homage to the Holy Mother, Ashe, to the Holy Father, Ashe, to the cosmic ancestors, Ashe, to the terrestrial ancestors, Ashe. We paying homage to the spirit of the earth, Ashe, to the element of the fire, Ashe, to the element of the water, Ashe, and to the element of the air, Ashe. We ask that we be protected and guided in spirit, love, and light to bring forth energies, to bring change to the planet, and bring it back in balance where it has not been for thousands of years. Ashe. All right, let's move forward. Today, we're going to be talking about the Schuman Resonance and what the connection between the Schuman Resonance and why your ear is ringing. But before we do that, let me give you two things. A, don't you believe nothing that you hear me say. Do like I did and go out and do your own research. B, please forgive the quality of my videos. I'm just here to provide information. The quality of the videos, well, I'm not really that concerned with it. I'm just trying to get this information out. All right, the other thing I want to say is this. If you look at my videos from past years, you know that back then I had a whole lot of information, a little bit of knowledge, and no wisdom. 20 years later, here we are. I have new information, whole lot of knowledge, and I have acquired some wisdom. So for those of you who don't understand the process of information to knowledge to wisdom, you can get a whole bunch of information, but if you never do nothing with it, you never acquire knowledge. Knowledge is when you take information, apply it to life, and get practical application of that information. Now it becomes knowledge. Once you dwell into knowledge for so many years, or whatever you want to call it, then you begin to develop wisdom. So what I see right now is you got a lot of young people out here. The young people out here are very smart. They got a lot of information, but no knowledge and no wisdom. That's acquired with time, okay? So let me give you a little background about myself. I came out of a Christian home. I was immersed in the Christian church, but something never set right with me. As a young boy in Sunday school, 7, 8 years old, I clearly remember asking the question, well, what is God? The answer given to me was, God is a mystery. You're supposed to take it on faith. It's blasphemy that you even asked that question. Well, as a little boy, I understood that was the wrong answer. As a little boy, I understood that the more I know about something, the more I love it. So, even though I had not realized it, I had begun my journey as a truth seeker. I am a truth seeker. So, let's move forward. When I got older, left the house, started doing my own research, I realized the answer to my question of what is God was right on the very first page of the Bible. The very second paragraph says, it was a void. It was nothingness. It was darkness. That's what the ancestors referred to as the Great Mother, the Holy Mother. And God said, let there be light. The infinite light of all creation is the Holy Father. So the void, the nothing and the darkness is the polarity of negative. The light is the polarity of positive. Negative, positive. Energy. So now we see God is nothing but energy. But that is not the creator. There's two different things. They've got you brainwashed, mesmerized, using terminology. We're going to use the terminology to break down this brainwashment that they have, this spell that they have cast upon us with terms. Okay? So, we know now then that God is nothing but energy. The energy. And then it says, then the Spirit of God. So what is spirit? Spirit is energy transformed into consciousness. So this means the tree has consciousness. It's God in it. How does it know what season it is? How does it know when to change the leaves of color? How does it know when to break new leaves, new flowers? Okay? So the rock has consciousness. The dog has consciousness. Energy is in everything. So you can't talk about nothing in life without understanding the energy that's associated with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach you people how to cultivate your energy, give you some practical application so that you can obtain your superpowers that you know you got coming. You know you're supposed to be levitating. You know you're supposed to be flying. You know you're supposed to be moving objects with the mental. All right? But the present state of the human being on the planet Earth right now is we are vibrating lower than a cockroach. A cockroach knows exactly what it is. We don't even know what we are, who we are. All right? So let's move forward. What got me on this path I'm at now in 1993, my father, who was a Vietnam vet, suffered from Agent Orange and got leukemia, and watching him go through the healthcare system and how barbaric it is, when my father passed, I dropped down on my hands and my knees. I cried, I begged, and I pleaded to the creator of the universe for A, never to depend upon them to save my life, B, to be used as a tool of change. So therefore, when you see me speaking in front of you right now, it's not just by chance. I asked for this knowledge. I asked to be used as a tool of change. Okay? So, let's move forward. My background is I have a mechanical engineering degree from Tuskegee. I'm a Tuskegee grad. So, as an engineer, when I started studying the ancient the knowledge, Master Roshi style, how to cultivate the energy. So I call myself, well, let me say it like this. This young brother right here who created these owls are owls that are made from, let me get it right, iron oxide and shungite. These will protect you from wireless signals. I'm going to leave a link to these owls, to this website. This young fella who created these, he and my son, best friends, grew up. He's the one, as he grew up with my son and always hearing me teach, start calling me Master Roshi. Now, for those of you who know who Master Roshi is, Master Roshi in the Dragon Ball Z anime, whatever you want to call it, was the one who taught Goku, trained Goku how to harness his inner powers. Master Roshi was a hermit who lived on an island. He had a turtle shell and he lived with a turtle on that island. So we need to know where we are today in modern North America. This is Turtle Island. Okay? And I am Master Roshi because I live on an island. I'm a hermit. I'm not like y'all. I don't do what y'all do. Okay? So, let me move this out the way right quick. Get this out the way. Alright, so now, I'm going to start with a little history that what happened in 1994 to understand why the Schuman Resonance, and resonance means to resonate, vibrate, everything in creation vibrates. In 1994, first of all, before we get there, let's talk about the Dogon tribe in Mali, Africa. For thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the Dogon tribe in Mali, Africa, who's told us that our ancestors came from the Sirius star system. That's why we are referred to as the star child. Our ancestors came from the Sirius star system. If those of you who don't know about Sirius, the dog star, our Earth revolves around the sun. It takes 365 days to make one revolution. Our sun revolves around a greater galactic sun called Sirius. It takes 25,000 years to make one revolution. In your Bible, that's called a great year. It is also referred to as an eon. In Africa, we have recorded 4 eons. That's 100,000 years. Okay? So check. The dog star, Sirius. Now, because you don't know who you are, they're stealing your stuff. Go look at Sirius satellite radio, and you will see the mascot is a little black dog, the dog star, with a star, 5-pointed star as his eye, right? The 5-pointed star, when the point points up, refers to those ancestors that populated this planet. That's what the 5-pointed star represents, not when they invert it. All right? They take all your stuff and they're using it because you forgot who you are. So what I'm saying is, go look at the mascot for the Sirius satellite radio. And there you go, you have the dog star. So the Dogons, thousands and thousands of years, have been performing these 2 ceremonies called the Hinky ceremony and the Sinky ceremony. If I remember it correctly, it's 7 planets in the Sirius star system. Sirius A is what's referred to as a dwarf star. And if I remember correctly, it takes 60 years to make its revolution around Sirius, the dog star. Around Sirius A is a melanated planet that is invisible. It's called Sirius B. Also, it's referred to as the Akashic Records. It makes a 50-year cycle around Sirius A. So for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, the Dogon have been performing the Hinky ceremony and Sinky ceremony. So now, when the European came to Mali, Africa, and met the Dogons, and the Dogon gave him all this minute astronomical detail in reference to the planets in the Sirius star system. When the European got a telescope, he turned to look at Sirius like, oh my God, right? When he first got a telescope, when he got a telescope that was powerful enough in the 1970s to validate all the minute details, then the European would tell you, and I know it because I've seen it on PBS 3 times in the last 20 years where they did a special on the Dogon, and they tell you, if the Dogon tells you something, you better believe it's true. All right? Check, check. So let's move forward. In 1994, the Hinky ceremony and the Sinky ceremony coincided. So the Dogons performed the last Hinky ceremony, the last Sinky ceremony. They said this is the last Hinky ceremony, the last Sinky ceremony ever. Now you need to understand this because these brothers and sisters been doing these ceremonies for thousands and thousands of years. And all of a sudden, they tell you in 1994, these are the last Hinky ceremony, last Sinky ceremony ever. Check, check. So what that mean? They say when we get back to this station next year, meaning 1 year from now, that the frequency in the planet was going to be a new frequency. All right? So, we need to understand all the way up to 1994, the Schuman Resonance was 7.83 hertz. All right? So, what we have seen since 1994, first, let me talk about the other thing that happened in 1994. A lot of spiritual work was done in 1994 to raise the Schuman resonance on the planet. I participated myself, with other brothers and sisters, we went on what's called the Phoenix Mounds in Monroe, Louisiana. At the time, we was performing spiritual ceremonies on the Phoenix Mounds in Monroe, Louisiana, with the Empress Vertice of the Washita Nation. You had other brothers and sisters on the mounds all up the East Coast performing this ceremony. To what happened was, based upon what the Buffalo Soldiers did to the so-called Native Americans, was we had to heal a rift between these spirits that was back in the Buffalo Soldiers and the spirits that was back in the Native Americans. We had to bring that back into harmony. So a lot of spiritual work was done in 1994 to elevate the Schuman Resonance. Okay? So now let's move forward. The Mayans said in the year 2000 that the energies were going to be amplified times 10. They said in the year 2020 that the energies were going to be amplified by 100. And when I show you these Schuman Resonance charts, you will see it's already begun to happen. But because people, the present state of the human being on the planet does not feel their spiritual energy, you are unaware of this. I've been cultivating my energy for 25 years. So that means if the universe fought physically, I feel it. If the universe throw that left ass cheek up physically, I feel it, right? Check, check, all right? So, we need to understand it's a whole new cycle in the planet, all right? Now, also, around 2000, to show you we're in a whole new cycle, around 2000, they came up with this 13th zodiac. I might be pronouncing it wrong, but it's Osiphus, something like that. Which, when I saw it, the first thing that came to my mind when I said Osiphus, Osiris, Osar. For those of you who don't know, you need to go look up the blue-green deity of ancient Egypt. The most highest god was Osiris, Osar, Ose. All right? So, when the Mayans put this stuff forth, they basically said it's a new frequency on the planet. Now we in a 13 zodiac, so that means your watches with 12 on them is no good no more. We're in a whole nother cycle. Hey, we're going. The solar system is going through a part of space we have never recorded. That's why this new zodiac is popping out of nowhere, right? We're in a whole new frequency, a whole new cycle. Stay with me, and I'm going to show you where scientists are validating this thing, huh? Okay, let's move forward. So, we're in a new part of space, and we understand then that the key to us, first of all, let me use these two examples. There's two examples that I try to use when I teach people to understand what we need to do. A human being is like a bicycle tire. A bicycle tire has two components: the exterior tire and then the inner tube. If the inner tube was flat, what good is the tire? Well, the present state of the human being on planet Earth at this point in time is like we like bicycle tires that's flat. What good are we? We ain't no good. They lie to us, tell us anything they want to know, whether it's true or not, and they constantly got you in a state of confusion. Because why? The human being does not know how to go inside, cultivate the energy to get their own answers. You don't need their answers. All right? So, the next thing we're going to jump into here is we're going to show you how the key to pumping up your inner tube is just like if your bicycle tire is flat, what do? You go out and you got a pump and blow it up. Same principle applies to the human being. You use your air, your breath, to inflate your inner tube. All right? So the Bible tells us, if thine eye be full of light, then thine body shall be full of light. The way you get your eye full of light and your body is full of light is learning to breathe properly. Huh? That's why you come to see me, because I'm going to teach you that. All right? So next I want to show you this screenshot I took, I guess, around the first quarter of 2020. And the reason I went to Google and was searching for the present Schuman resonance, because you need to understand, first of all, let me say this. Around 2000, the scientists came out and said that the Schuman resonance, depending upon where you are on the planet, was 13 to 15 hertz, which validated that the Schuman resonance, the Schuman frequency of the planet since 1994 did increase. Now we need to understand the Schuman resonance is the same frequency that your cells vibrate at. So when the Schuman resonance rises, so does your cellular vibratory rate. So around February, let me say this, during January of 2020, for 2 weeks, I walked around with an energy headache that was just, bam, you know, almost had me sidecast. So when the universe farts, physically, I feel it. At the time, I may not understand what is going on in the universe, but as time goes on, the answer will always come to me. So about February, March of 2020, something said, you need to check the Schuman resonance and see what happened, what was going on in January while you was getting all these energy headaches. And if you look right here, it said that the Schuman resonance reached 36 hertz plus. And you need to understand 36 hertz. What? That's 4 times. 4 times what it was. Alright? The resonance has increased 4 times, exponentially speaking. So, and you read what this last sentence here says, this is a big deal. It is. It's a huge deal. I'm going to show you something here in a minute with 36 hertz. We way past that now. Alright? Now watch this. Watch this. Take a look at this. Now, what we have here is a chart where they actually, for the last 2 to 3 years, have been tracking the Schuman resonance. All right? So, you look at this chart right here. In September, the highest peak value was what? 80 hertz. The red represents the average. Right here, they say the average is what? 32 hertz. So now, when Google tells you the Schuman resonance shot up, and then came back down to 7.83 hertz, no. As it goes up, what it does is it peaks. When it comes down, it's a little bit, the average is higher. It peaks, and then when it comes down, the average is a little bit higher. Slowly stepping us into the higher resonance, the higher frequencies. All right. So let's move down here. Show you what time this is. During August, we had a peak value here of 80, 78, 61, where the average was 27. All right. Watch this now. Watch this now. July, 74 hertz. Watch this now. Watch this. Stay with me now. Stay with me. Ha, ha. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. I'm going to show y'all something here now. Now, let's go to May 2021. Look at these peak values, brothers and sisters. 110. Yeah. 103. 7.83 hertz. We have reached peak values And sometime in 2021, I heard that it had reached a peak of 168 hertz. You need to understand, people, if the connection between the Schuman resonance and your ear ringing, if your ear not ringing when the vibration is getting faster and faster and faster, something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong, okay? Stay with me now. Stay with me now. April, we hit what? Peak value of 75. I'm gonna put this chart down here in this link below so you can go see these values to understand that this thing has shifted to a whole new frequency. Y'all with me now? Stay with me now. Stay with me now. All right now. So we've shown you the empirical data where scientists have been documenting the fact that the Schuman resonance is increasing. Now, what does this have to do with the ringing in your ear? First of all, you need to understand you have this blessed gland in your brain. I refer to it as the God gland. Modern science and your Bible refer to it as the pineal gland because it is shaped like a pine cone. Now, the God gland is a dense, concentrated package of melanin. All right? You need to understand melanin is much more than just coloration. It's a whole science behind this. Why do you think nobody teaches you about melanin? All right? Why do you think nowhere you go they teach you about how the energy works in your body? Why do you think nowhere you go they teach you how to heal yourself? Huh? That's why you got Master Roshi right here. So, you need to do what? Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and share the video. Share the video. Alright? Check. Alright. So now, we need to understand the pineal gland, aka the God gland, makes 3 oscillations. Alright? The first one is just a side to side. It is boo, boo. It's like somebody hitting a chime. Bing! The next oscillation is side to side. Bing! And when you develop this gland, you'll get this orbital oscillation. Where that makes your ear ring 24/7, both ears. See, right now what you're experiencing, because the resonance is increasing, you will get temporary ringing in your ear. It might hit you. I have people call and tell me, say, man, my ear popped. It started ringing. It's like I almost lost my balance because the pineal gland is connected to the inner balance core of your ear, right? So, you know, what I was thinking, I said, when I was watching the Olympics, and this is a time when the Schuman resonance was going crazy, and I heard Simone Biles say, she had to drop out for whatever. I was thinking to myself, because somebody had just called me saying, man, look, my ear was ringing and I lost my balance. I said, you know, if Simone Biles was on that balance beam and her ear started ringing, which to throw your balance off, it'd be kind of hard to do a balance beam if you lost your sense of balance. So I believe that more was going on with Simone Biles than we know, right? Because she's so spiritual, she's so athletic, and she's healthy, her ear gonna tend to ring more than the average person, all right? So now, when your ears start ringing, the whole key is, because we're spiritual beings, spirit is energy transformed into consciousness. You are, as spiritual beings, you're supposed to feel the energy inside your body 24/7. As spiritual beings, at this point in time, if you're not hearing the ringing in your ear, you got a problem. Either A, you got health issues, which is zapping your energy, or B, there is a break between the spirit-mind-body connection. all star children should be hearing their ears ringing right at this point in time, right now. My name Dollar Bill. I'm from Chi-Town. I ain't gonna pay the country boys nothing. I ain't gonna pay the country boys nothing. That's Bernie Mac with Players Club. I love Bernie Mac. I ain't gonna pay the country boys nothing. All right, let's get back to it. So, what we need to be doing now is A, you need to learn how to breathe properly so you can ignite your wick. What is he talking about? This is what I'm talking about. A human being is like a candle. But the present state of development of the human being on the planet right now is we're candles walking around here with your wick not lit. I have lit my wick. And it's very easy for me to go as a lit candle and light your wick. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. This is supposed to be something that a child can do. So what you need to understand then at this point in time, the cosmic energy is rising. The Christ energy within you is rising. That's what time it is. When they talk about the return of Christ, when they talk about heaven on earth, we need to understand what these religious terms mean. We need to understand everything in creation vibrates. The slowest vibration is the third dimension. The highest, fastest vibration is heaven. Christ is when you learn to use breathing and meditation to take your cellular frequency and rise it till you're now using 5% of your brain, 10% of your brain, 20% of your brain, till you learn to use 100% of your brain. You have to raise your cellular vibratory rate. The light from the sun is doing that to us right now, slowly. It's been going on for 25 years. If it was to happen all of a sudden, it would drive you crazy. I know because I sun gaze. This is how I help open myself up. And I'm going to let you know now, I'm in Rod Squad. You talk bad about sun gazing because you don't know nothing about it. You didn't prepare your temper properly. I'm in Rod Squad. All right? So now, let's also look at this. In Genesis chapter 32, if I remember correctly, it's a story where Jacob goes into meditation. While Jacob is in meditation, a wrestling match, I'm paraphrasing now, a wrestling match ensues with Jacob and this angel. And this angel just pop, 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 beating the snot out of Jacob's behind. And at the break of dawn, hint, 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 at the break of dawn, what happens at the break of dawn? Light comes from darkness. Just like in the beginning it was a void, there's nothing, it was darkness. And then God said, let there be light. Every morning, you see the same thing going on. At the break of dawn, Jacob asked the angel, well, my God, when you going to let me go? The angel said, I'm not going to let you go until you bless me. Then Jacob asked the angel, well, what's your name? The angel says, my name is Jacob. So what are we talking about? The higher self must slay the lower self in order for you to enter into the kingdom of God. The kingdom of God is within. So what we talk about is a battle between your higher self and your lower self. And the lower self must be slayed by your higher self. And then he ends with this. He said, Jacob, your name is no longer Jacob, for you have met God face to face. Yeah? At a place called Pineal, and your life is preserved. Preserved means to be saved. So what it's telling you is to be saved is the biological, chemical, alchemical process. You just can't say I'm saved. And then you go out and you save. The pineal gland, the ancestors called the pineal gland a transformer of consciousness. After he went to pineal, he was no longer Jacob. He became Israel. When I went to pineal, I was Richard. Now I'm Cam. I'm not the same. You'll never be the same. You will be transformed. All this worldly shit around you, you won't have no parts of it. That's why you ain't gonna find me on social media. Right? I'm a hermit. I live on an island. Yeah? You with me? So now, what we need to do is A, hit that like and subscribe button. I'm gonna be putting some classes forth on Patreon to step you up into the next dimension. Alright? Alright. Alright, I'm gonna end with this. The classes I teach is what I refer to as spiritual physiology. Level 1 spiritual physiology and level 2 spiritual physiology. Let me get it right now. And in spiritual physiology, physiology is the function of the physical. What we're showing you is spiritually, which is energy, how the energy in your body flows. Okay? How to harness your energy. How to learn how to breathe right. So if you look at level 1 classes right here, when I first started teaching, I'm going to show you how the frequency is increased. When I first started teaching level 1 or level 2, each level was 5 classes. Right? But what happened was, as the frequency increased, by the year I started teaching these classes in 95. By the time we got to 2000, with the frequency increasing, we went from 5 classes down to 3 classes. The frequency increased much more now. So now what we're going to do is these 3 classes for level 1 and 3 classes for level 2. And now it's going to be 1 class per level. Alright? And mainly because when I first started teaching these classes, you did not have access to as much information as you do now on the internet. Alright? And most back then in the 90s, we was using books. Y'all heard of those? Books, right? So, and you know, I'm gonna tell you this too now. If you want to talk about scholarship, you can't bring the internet in this. You want to talk about scholarship, you got to have books, all right? Because just as much Google will tell you a truth and a lie in the same damn sentence, all right? So you can't talk about no internet and talk about scholarship, all right? The internet nowadays is more propaganda than it is information. So what we're going to do is set these level 1 and level 2 classes up on the Patreon. So for those who are interested, can tap in to Master Roshi and get this training. And what I'm hoping will happen, because we need to understand right now that the young people are on fire. The young people came in and their wicks are lit, but they need training, okay? And I'm here to train. So with the young people, I want the young people especially to learn, take these classes, and when you take these classes, by the time you take the second level, you'll be able to, the first level is designed to teach you how to mainly begin some level of mastership, some level of control of your inner energies. So you learn what chakras are connected to what organs and glands. So you know if I'm dealing with an issue in this gland, which chakra, which is the energy center, controls that gland. So I can have more active participation in my own healing. Right now, when human beings talk about healing, they talk about it in a passive aspect. It's passive meaning you go to the doctor and the doctor tell you XYZ. Well, you the captain of that ship. It's your body. You need to take control. Alright? So once you learn how to tap in and begin to harness your own energy, the next step is to learn to project your energy exteriorly and being able to control your environment. If 2 or more ask in my name, it shall be done. So this means you young people, once you guys link up and learn how to harness your energy individually, then you get on social media and harness your energy as a group to make shit happen. Change this thing. It's up to you young people to change this thing. And you already started last year when y'all started out in the streets in 2020 with the George Floyd protest, you already done started. But you're using the most antiquated method to change. We're in the age of light. So you need to be using light technology, energy. Marching is sticks and stones technology. We're in the age of light. You need to use light technology. They're not going to hear you if you're marching. You see, ain't nothing changed, right? They will appease you for a minute. But if you want permanent change, you got to use God energy, all right? So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this video. And like I say, I'm going to be setting these classes up on the Patreon so y'all can get down and what? Get down. Peace and love.